Been chillin'.
Bing_chillin'.
I feel like we should have an intro, like a designated intro. You know what I mean?
No.
We freestyling it.
What? This is episode...
We're like 65?
68.
And we haven't had an intro. We've just been...
No.
Alright.
Usually the intro is pretty consistent with you going, the best podcast.
The best podcast.
The only podcast.
The only podcast. Alrighty.
But...
Ready?
Welcome back to the Bing Chillin' Podcast.
The Bing Chillin' Podcast, the only podcast, the best podcast in the world.
The Beb Podcast.
The Bebby Podcast. Oh. But, yeah, welcome back. A lot of news, funny enough, has been going on since our last recording. We can get down to first. It turns out Ye officially got cut, or not cut. He officially got removed.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter. George Geddes.
He officially got released, and it was in the thing. It came out to be a mutual agreement. So it was more of just like a mutual agreement that they came out and they're like, "Hey, it's not gonna work." And then Cloud9 came out with an official video saying, "Hey, it was a role issue. We didn't have a role. Everyone was playing weird thing. We didn't know. It was more of a
skill issue.
It was yeah.
No.
And everyone, like, when someone says it's a role issue and then you cut a top 3 player in the world, questions are gonna be flaring. It's like
what role was really lacking?
Yeah, it's like, was it really a role issue? And then, oh my god, I gotta pull out Ye's tweet. This was cryptic as fuck because the way he tweeted about it was not a role issue. It was not a role issue. Okay.
Okay.
What was it? Oh my god, did he delete? He deleted the tweet. No.
What was the gist of it?
Okay. The gist of the tweet was what he said was, it was like, yeah, it was definitely a role issue, and it was he stated it was like, yeah, we parted ways. It was definitely, quote unquote, definitely a tweet, a role issue, and definitely management listening to me. But I'm going to be moving on, and I'm officially a free agent. I am open to everything. So the way he tweeted, it was spicy. I was like, oh. I wish I screenshotted it, but I didn't. But yeah, it was definitely there was definitely interior. It wasn't a real issue. There's definitely a lot of things going on. But now it's 29 franchising teams are thinking, like, let's see who is who's picking up Ye. Because me and Dom talked about it in the weekly defuse. We joked about him going to China. China picking him up because they're already like an up and rising region.
Imagine,
bro. FPX, EDG,
he's on EDG,
bro.
What a character.
And then like we pull out the meme, the old NBA team, get ready to learn Chinese, brother. But no, it's gonna be funny because we were like, all right, realistically, he's not going to any Pacific region. He's not gonna learn. He's not gonna try to learn in Korean, Japanese, Mandarin. He's not learning. There's no way that brother is going any Pacific region.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of NA teams that would be happy to pick him up.
Yeah.
Though.
So we were thinking, right? So it can't be 100 Thieves because they already have like a good foundation. They're already a good squad. They're not getting rid of him. The NRG. They're not gonna get rid of him. They already have artists. They're not getting rid of him. Cloud9. They're not gonna get rid of him because they just got.
They're like, I'm sorry.
Actually, can you come back?
Sorry.
It's.
I don't know what I was thinking.
It's like the ex coming back. It's like, please take me back.
Sorry.
We had that, and then the only other logical option for NA is EG. So it's that. And then I was joking. I was like, maybe he might just go to a Brazilian team. Shit, learn some Portuguese.
Bet you would like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole EA situation. And as of this recording, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. No, there's no official announcement. We might get it because the regular season starts in like a little late March or mid-March. They start the regular season. So until then, who knows? But as of right now, yeah. And then we asked the Discord. Follow us on Discord, by the way. Join us. What topics to talk about? And one member said that why is Valorant getting stale?
Do we want to shout him out?
Yeah, what's forgot his name. What was it? It was
Valorant is Boring by Ludwig.
Not the actual Ludwig. His name is Luke. But
Luke
Ludwig. But he came in the Discord. He was talking about how Valorant is getting stale. And I mean, I like thought about that because I did that in the morning. Then I like thought through it, and I was like, kind of. He's not wrong in the sense that it's getting boring. It's more of just like
bad game.
There's so much you can do in a tactical 5v5 shooter. Like, it's hard to make content over it unless the esports scene. That's the only content really can make out of it. You can only say, "Oh, I 1v5 and 1v5 like." You can only make so much content out of it, right? And
yeah, aside from like funtages or shit like that,
yeah, or like funny memes, shit like that. It's that, but then I took it to a step further, and I'm like, isn't like the FPS genre as a whole feeling a little bit stale? Because think about it, okay. Back then, where it was like the H1Z1, the PUBG days, where everybody was on, and like you would get on and you would play and you would have so much fun. There's competitive side, but like you would try, but it would be fun.
Yeah, no one was fucking sweating their dick off.
They're sweating their dick off, but in the same time, even if you were sweating, you were having a shit ton of fun.
Yeah,
you were having fun. Even if you lost, it was like, damn.
Yeah, I feel like Valorant punishes you mentally for a loss. I don't know. It hurts.
And then 2018 Fortnite, even if I wasn't the best, it was still fun to get on and have fun. 28. I mean, they brought it like
Of course, you were a Fortnite kid.
Hey, I was a Fortnite kid for one season. For one season, I was a Fortnite kid.
Likely story.
I started at season 4 last time before the no build mode came out. Last time I played Fortnite was season 4. And that was the last time I played Fortnite.
Okay.
And until then, I didn't touch it until they added no build mode. I played a little bit of that, then I dropped it again. Apex, I don't know, kind of was fun a little bit.
I thought you're like the Apex fanboy of the channel.
I love watching Apex. I don't know, just like Apex is still fun. It's like here and there, but I gotta be really in the mood for Apex, right? But minus that, and then CS, you know, it's always like there. It's always nice to go back and play. I can just surf on it.
I honestly at this point, whenever I play CS, it's just like I'm not gonna care. I might sweat, but I'm not gonna care if I win or lose because, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But
old game, great game. Don't have the energy to care enough.
Funny enough, there was a leak that, you know, the whole rumor about the Source 2 engine that's rumored. NVIDIA came out with an update, and they were like,
NVIDIA did?
NVIDIA.
Okay.
There was an update where they're like, a lot of games that are compatible with the new NVIDIA update. And someone data mined it and saw
the new
CSGO 2 or Source CS S2. So everyone, so then that came out, right?
Okay.
That came out, and everyone, CS Twitter blew the fuck up. So everyone's just tweeting out CS2. It's here, finally. We're getting it. And then that's
still probably a long time before we get it.
Yeah. Valve is that company where they just drop shit randomly. Like they don't hype it beforehand. They don't give beta. No, they just drop it right away. So now there's that excitement going on. I know 100 Thieves, they're making their own first-person shooter games. Yeah, it was like a year ago.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, they're making their own. Dr. Disrespect, he made his own first-person shooter gaming company, and it's called Midnight Society, I think it was called.
Okay.
So he's making it, but it's all these things are in develop. There's nothing released. Like as of right now, I feel like it's kind of boring. So
maybe like 2024 will be a dirty year for fucking new FPS games.
Yeah, or maybe we might get some teasers here and there for this year. I mean, we're in March right now of 2023. So anything could release.
Yeah.
I know like Dr. Respect, he's been throwing snapshots of like small alpha gameplay he's been showing off.
What kind of game like is it?
I don't know the exact genre, but I've been seeing like I think it's like more, I don't know how to explain. I don't know the exact genre of it, but it looked like a lot of Call of Duty-esque, but it looks like pretty good. It looks like PC optimized. Because I know COD and PC is not, I don't know. PC optimization on COD, it's all right, but like having like a content creator whose main purpose is Call of Duty, having him run an FPS thing is nice.
Yeah.
And then having 100 Thieves make an old FPS game is nice. And then the Source too.
It's cool.
But I don't know. I haven't been really having any motivation to play FPS. I've been playing fighting games for anything. I've been playing like Guilty Gear and stuff.
Been playing some beer.
Yeah, some Guilty Gear has been like the only thing that's been keeping me. And then now, Elden Ring, new DLC.
Speaking of companies that just drop shit randomly, From Software on a random Tuesday afternoon, what is that? The 28th?
Yeah.
Just drops a fucking screenshot like Elden Ring DLC coming out. Haven't said anything since. Random Tuesday afternoon. And then they're probably not going to say anything until like the week before it comes out.
Yeah. It's called it's an expansion actually, not a DLC. So
I wonder if it's going to be free or not.
It's probably
I don't really care. I'm going to buy it if it's not.
Yeah. But
like
I could be like $30. Like, why not?
I don't know, because like
were the other Souls game DLCs were free?
No.
So
but like Sekiro never got any DLC or anything. So I wonder.
That yeah. I mean, it's gonna be nice because then they just blew it's called Elden Ring
Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Shadow of the Erd Tree. So it's an expansion. So I joke about it, but there's an actual difference between a DLC and an expansion. An expansion is like close to the size of the original game. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an expansion is much bigger than an actual DLC. So if you thought there was a lot to do in the original game, there's a lot to do in the expansion.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's a little Elden Ring.
I guess if they just release a normal DLC like they have in the past, like for the Dark Souls games, it's like they add like a couple new areas, but it's like since Elden Ring is so big, like if they just added one area or something, it probably wouldn't be that great.
Yeah.
Like people would be like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. And so that's the only gaming news. That's the only thing. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me play it, because I was itching, but I was like, there's no reason to. Now I'm gonna boost the shit out of my character, because does it turn like over to the new DLCs? For example, if I like boost my character and he's like really stacked, can I take that to the DLC or would it restart it?
Trying to think. I believe well, how like they have done DLCs in the past, like for Dark Souls 3, there's like to get to the first DLC, there's like an NPC that shows up and you talk to him and he transports you to like the new area or whatever, and that like shows up halfway through the playthrough, but I can't, because I think when it came out I started a new character so that I could do it fresh, so I can't recall. I can't imagine that they don't do it.
But it would scale to your level, right? I'm guessing it would scale to your level.
No, usually they're set, like they don't, in FromSoft games, like shit doesn't scale. Like there's a certain level at everything, but it's not like, oh, if you get to X area early, the enemies are going to be stronger. It's like, nah, you're just going to be stronger than everyone else.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. But I don't know how they're going to handle it.
But even if you're boosted, like for example, some like bosses are still like, it takes a bit to kill. Like they're not that easy. There's no bosses where you can just keep one-shotting. Like,
yeah, I mean, like
they put a cap on it.
Not even that. It's like endgame Elden Ring is like they scale the damage for you to be basically boosted. So like you could get like 1 or 2 shot by everything, which is a big critique you see with the game. People are like, it's not fun getting 1 shot for 1 mistake. But that, and like they make the bosses have like super high resistances to a lot of things. So like bleed, which is like busted, bosses will have higher resistance to that, or like certain types of damage, so that like you can't just fucking melt them. But, yeah.
I mean, I can't say like, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like they really haven't missed hard in any game they've released recently.
Recently.
I mean,
Dark Souls 2 is a big miss in my book.
That's crazy because I see arguments, people replaying it, and they're like, actually, it wasn't that bad of a game.
I think... Okay, so original Dark Souls 2 is actually, like, pretty good. But the version that, like, most people buy, because, like, that's the one that gets pushed, is Scholar of the First Sin Edition, which is basically, you could think of, like, the deluxe edition. It comes with all the DLC and everything. But the enemy placements are different, and they added like shit, and there's so much shit that's just like, why would anybody ever do this? Like, one of the first areas of the game was like pretty easy. I'm talking about Hyde's Tower of Flame for people who know that. And then like in the Scholar of the First Sin Edition, what used to be like 2 normal ass soldier people, they just replaced with like a fucking dragon. But like this is like the second area in the game, so you're like, what the fuck? So like if you look up clips of people like running through Hyde's Tower of the Flame, there's just like an army behind you on one side and a fucking dragon that you have to run up to on this tiny ass bridge, and he shoots fire, so it's impossible to not get hit by the fire when you're running up to him. And it's just like, bro.
But wouldn't that escalate the difficulty? Wouldn't that the difficult the game is, the more fun it is?
Not necessarily. I think there's a balance that From Software has made in their games of hard but fair. So like I think Dark Souls 3 promotes this the best. There are still a lot of bad areas in Dark Souls 3, like poison swamps and stuff like that, but I don't think at any point anything seems unfair. Like there isn't. It's challenging, but it's rewarding for getting through it. You don't feel like, oh, thank God that's fucking over. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas in Dark Souls 2, a lot of the difficulty is artificially inflated by they have a billion gank bosses, like 2v1s, 3v1s kind of things, like all over the place. There's a bunch of like really bad areas. Like there's multiple poison swamps. There's multiple areas with horrible enemy placements. And the DLC is like pretty bad. Like there's this one place that it's called Frozen Outskirts, but a couple YouTubers call it Reindeer Fuckland because basically the whole area is just like a big open field that's like long. Like think of it like a football field, but like it keeps going. But there's fog everywhere. Like a blizzard is happening, so you can't see anything. And they purposely put these fucking giant ass reindeer enemies in the fog that can see you, that run fast as fuck, that are like so hard to react to. So you're just walking through the fog and suddenly, bam, reindeer, get fucked. And there's only like one bonfire between there and the boss. So if you fucking die, you have to run through Reindeer Fuckland again. And it's Reindeer Fuckland is harder than the boss.
Jesus Christ. So what are things you're expecting from the expansion? What do you want or what do you don't want from the expansion? Elements.
I think that they usually they're all right about listening to the community about things, so I would like to see more unique bosses, because right now in Elden Ring, I saw a whole video on it. There's only something like 9 unique bosses in Elden Ring. Like 9 bosses that appear once. Every other boss in the game appears multiple times. So
like all the dragons are kind of the same when you fight them. Like
all the dragons are the same. All the Everjails are just basic enemies that they put in like early areas as like teasers, I guess. A lot of like even major bosses are reused in multiple places. Like Godric, the guy who puts the fucking dragon on. Later in the game, there's just an Everjail that has fucking Godric in it, and you're like,
like what the fuck?
Yeah, like it. Not that it seems lazy. It seems like they took more care in building the world than they did like the bosses, which is which is fair. Like the world is
amazing.
Like
each area actually feels different.
Yeah, I have like actually no complaints on the world design, and like even the bad areas are short enough that like it's not a big deal, and like they also, because you have the horse, like you could kind of speed run through a lot of the bad areas pretty easy. So it's not like the biggest deal. But it's just like I love the boss fights. I honestly don't love going through Elden Ring and just doing the boss fights over and over again, because like
there's no
they're
point
whatever.
Yeah, there's no point to it. I would agree on that. But yeah, hopefully we get a new one. And I'm gonna put myself on blast today. I did an oopsie on Twitter. I'm an idiot. It's nothing bad, but I'm just like, no, it's nothing bad. I'm just
some like racist shit.
No, nothing racist, sexist, or anything. I'm just an idiot. Okay. So the Twitter account Valor Leaks, right? They always come out with like leaks about everything, game mode, skins, everything.
Yeah.
Right? So they leaked saying the Oni 2 Phantom is about to come out, and they said the guns.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Too.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then I'm an idiot. I don't know time perspectives, right? So the post about the Valorant tweet goes, and he posts a whole video about the trailer, right? Then the tweet right under it is the official Valorant thing, the whole video, right? So the Valorant thing, it says 11 minutes ago. The Valor League thing said 10 minutes ago. My dumb brain thought the Valor League tweeted it before the official thing. So I screenshot that and posted it underneath the things. I'm like, wow, this guy is so good. He posted it before the official Valorant thing. I got fucking rinsed.
That's hilarious.
To be honest, I wasn't like mad. It was just funny. Like some of the replies are funny as shit. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my god. Like one dude like ratioed me. He's like, bro can't math. Some dude was
not even he can't math. It's like this guy just doesn't have fucking eyes.
Dude, and then one of them was, bro got a little too excited. Another dude was like, bro skipped math class.
Dude, you got fucked.
One of my favorites was like, dude, Harvard blocked you.
That's a good one. I like that.
Oh my god. And then no, it was just like bro, it was just like so funny. Like the replies and the roast, and someone quoted me and says, the smartest Valorant player.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was
great.
I wasn't mad because the insults were actually funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, honest to God, respect. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I put my stuff on blast, and now I'm actually gonna be smart enough and actually look through to everything before actually tweeting
maybe use your eyes a little bit.
I'm gonna use my eyes and brain before actually tweeting something. So that was a little oopsie on my part.
Speaking of new Valorant content, did you see the? I saw it on TikTok. I don't know if it was on Twitter. The whole like tournaments thing that they're adding to Valorant.
The premiere thing.
Yeah, premiere. That shit looks kind of cool.
It does.
I think that's the fix for shitty ranked.
Yes, that is a good fix.
Like, nobody's gonna play ranked anymore when this comes out.
There are going to be ranked players because the thing is with this, right? So if anybody doesn't know, if anybody didn't see, they announced today, March 2nd, today, that they're making a premiere. A premiere is essentially like a a squad of 5 can enter like matches, weekly matches, and you guys just win. You guys play matches, keep going.
Think about the tournament system from Rocket League, but a little bit more like fleshed out.
Yeah. So like you keep playing, and then if you guys have a certain amount of wins, or if your record is good enough, you guys get put in a playoff bracket. The playoff bracket, you guys go through that, and then you win, and then you could possibly go through Ascension. The Ascension is a tier 2 seed. So they go through the tier 2 seed, and if you win that, you get to franchising. You get a franchise spot. So you can get to a franchise spot all the way through Premier. So the past 3 years of an open bracket is done. There's no more. They're not doing open bracket anymore. Everything is done through Premier.
Yeah. Which is kind of good because then you don't actually have to watch any of the teams until they're worth watching.
Yeah. So you don't have to go through the whole open bracket. Like, it feels like an actual franchise thing, but for much lower scale. Like, every week, you guys got to play your matches. You got to win them. All that. You can make your own logo, which is sick. Like, they have what I saw is like you can make your own logo, own squad. You could do it for fun, for content. You could do it for content, and also you can do it if you want to actually strive to be a pro. So yeah, the only thing is you can't just go in and be a random 5 squad. You actually have to form the 5 squad, which I like. Which is I don't know how Rocket League does it, but what they described it as good. They said it's going to be on episode 6, Act 3. So not the next act. The act after that, that's when they're releasing.
Yeah, they said like in the summer they're going to be releasing the beta.
Yeah, which is going to be good because like it's nice to see because yeah, the whole open bracket thing seems a little dumb, and I don't know if ranked is still. I mean, ranked is still going to be there. Ranked is never going to leave.
See, they mentioned in their video about it that it's like based on your skill level is like the tournaments or whatever, or the Premier League. So I wonder if you're still going to have to rank up in ranked to be able to get into higher placing tournaments or premieres, if that makes sense, because like they're structuring it. It seems, I guess this isn't confirmed, but like if we're all gold, for example, we can make a 5-sec and then we'll compete in a premiere of gold players. So I wonder if, you can 5-stack your way to VCT, I guess, but I wonder if you still like have to be immortal or at least immortal to like start to get to those kind of tiers. You know,
I would assume just due to the fact that let's be serious, you can't be gold and get to franchising. That's one thing, right? So I would assume maybe like the ones that are, I would say, worthwhile or actually if you actually think about going pro or if you actually want to try to get into tier 2 or franchising, I would assume you would at least have to be immortal up. I think that should be it. That should be a requirement. If you're gonna, you can have Premier with the other ranks. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. But if you actually want to try to go pro, you actually want to try to get into tier 2 and franchising, the requirement, of course, you have to be Immortal Plus. Maybe the past act, maybe currently, but like you have to be. I think it's just like, it's a thing because you want to keep the competitive integrity there. You want to keep high competitive Valorant there. You want to stay competitive, and you don't want to like, you don't want to have just a bunch of gold players try to represent North America, for example. So I would say that is a big thing. Before when they announced it, when they were talking about it beforehand, they were saying that it's a higher radiant. So it's just a higher radiant, or like a radiant plus or a higher radiant. So I would assume that you would have to be high ranked to even.
You'd have to be like radiant to be considered, really.
Yeah, to be fair, you have to be high immortal or radiant to be really considered into this Premier thing, or actually make it worthwhile or qualify.
Yeah.
So I do say that's why the topic is ranked still be there? Yes, ranked is still going to be there.
Yeah, I guess there's still going to be a reason to grind.
So, or now it's going to be, is the ranked experience going to be better? Because everyone's going to be like, oh shit.
People are going to try because they're going to be like, fuck, I want to get to Immortal so I can play some Premiere.
Yeah. So now, of course, this is all theory crafting, but we can also like just saying the ranked experience in theory should be better. Because everyone's like, okay, I want to get better. I want to get to Immortal so then I can join a squad of 5 so we can play Premier so I can get pro.
Yeah. So
this is a good experience because ranked will be more worthwhile playing because now it's just hopefully that
healthy for the game.
Healthier for the game just for it overall. The content side, I don't know how it is going to be content side wise, but it's going to be fun. It's a good addition to say the least. I would say that. So it's going to be fun to watch, and it's also going to be fun to see because I feel like that's going to be a lot of good content, but let's see how much it actually lasts when it comes to that. But yeah, I think that's overall, I think that side, it's going to be good. I like it, but yeah, no, I think that's certainly it. That's really what it is. I don't know what else to say, but yeah.
They're answering our prayers.
Yeah, finally. I feel like Riot was a good. That's a good thing because I know League has that, doesn't it? League has Clash.
They have Clash, which is kind of like that. You can't get to fucking LCS or something with Clash. It's more just like a fun thing to do.
Okay, because then I was talking because I was at the gym and I was talking to my friend, and because he was telling me, he's like, so he was asking me a question like, is it a weekly thing? I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be there, and he's like, that's fucked because League doesn't have that shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's fucked because you can't.
League is like a seasonal kind of thing. Like every couple months or whatever, they have a Clash event, and you make your team for that, and then you play the event.
Yeah.
And then it's done until the next one.
Yeah.
It's not like a constant thing.
It's also because it's definitely better tier 2 scene than CS at least, because now it's going to motivate, because this tier 2
now the tier 2 teams are going to grind because they're like, we don't want some fucking 5-stack to beat us.
Yeah. So now actually more orgs might be invested now, which would be sick.
Yeah.
So more orgs, like I know back then we had like we had Dignitas, we had Immortals, we had a lot of other orgs invested. Now Dark Zero, we had a lot of investment, but now they just dropped it because I don't know, franchising kind of killed it. But now you'll see now more orgs wanting to invest in it if you're a good prize. So not only that, you're playing to be signed to an org now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a positive thing, and it's just more healthier for the scene compared to NA CS tier 2, which is essentially dog shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's the tier 2 scene in NA is at least so much worse compared to the Valorant scene, because now this one's like, hey, we actually care about the tier 2 scene.
Yeah.
We care about the little guys, essentially. We care about the little guys. We're going to bring you guys, here's a format where you guys can actually improve and actually try to get compared. And I mean, it looks like Riot's already favoring them because they pushed the LCS to like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then now the Valorant is Saturday, Friday, Sunday. Yeah. So it's kind of like, damn, they're already favoring Valorant, which is a crazy to think that they're just gonna. They've made a game where they're already pushing. Like League is already, and at least an NA is essentially like pushed away compared to the predecessor of Valorant, which is. It's not. It's weird. I don't know how to feel about. Like I'm not a League player, so you're a League player. I don't know how you feel about it.
I don't know. People. I don't really like. I don't think it. I think it's cool that Valorant is getting the spotlight there. Do I think it's like the greatest move? I don't think so. I think League is a much more profitable game than Valorant is. So I think it's definitely an interesting move, moving the League streams to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But what do I know? They want to blow up their new game.
Yeah, and then not even counting about how they're going to handle the fighting game. Because I feel like...
Yeah, Project L is going to be interesting.
So, like, yeah, is that going to be... No, you can't make fighting games into franchise, and that's just going to be tournaments. And how are you running your tournaments with Project L?
Yeah.
So, because I'm thinking about...
It's probably going to be, like, VCT Open qualifiers for Project L. Like, how else do you do it, right?
I mean, we can talk about, like, compared to other fighting games, for example, like, okay, Smash. Smash has other... Well, before, you had to ask permission now. Now, before Nintendo kind of cut that shit out, anybody could run a Smash tournament. You just go in and you just win those small tournaments to make yourself like a name for yourself.
Yeah.
So now is this? So for this, how are you going to make it like that? I know Guilty Gear has open tournaments where you could just join weekly tournaments and just make your name for yourself there. I think Street Fighter has that. Tekken has that.
Like every fighting game.
Yeah, every fighting game. But then Riot, they like to have it where no, everything is run through us, nobody else.
Yeah, they like to gatekeep their shit.
Yeah, but you would unless you would have to ask permission, like Nintendo does. Like you have to ask permission for them to now, because ever since end of last year, where like Nintendo was like, actually, you can't just make your own tournament. You have to ask permission from us now.
Yeah.
So now it's just it's probably gonna be with Riot, where I mean they're probably gonna be more lenient on it, and they're gonna be more accepting.
It's gonna be more on like the corporate level. They're probably not gonna want tournaments. Like, who's gonna care if like fucking I don't know, some college has a tournament or whatever for, you know, like
more of like the $10,000, $20,000 tournaments.
Yeah, they're not, like, but they're not gonna. I don't know. If they just added Project L to like Evo or some shit without like saying anything to Riot, that's something that they'd be like, okay, let's relax.
Well, yeah, I feel it's for Project L to even be like look at past games. Like to have an Evo is still like having your fighting game in Evo is good.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
like
drawbacks to
Nintendo
it.
doesn't like their games in Evo.
Yeah, I mean,
like they requested that Smash Melee was removed from Evo.
yeah, and that blew up because Evo came out and saying we didn't remove it. Nintendo wanted us to remove it.
Yeah,
It wasn't our fault. Because everyone thought like, yo, why is Evo removing it? Like, what the fuck? Like, we have a community, and Evo had to come out and say, that's not our fault. We didn't want it removed. Nintendo requested it to be removed. They didn't even request it. They demanded it to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
So would Riot, a company that likes to have everything homegrown, are they going to have... Are we allowed to hope... Like, for example, if we want to start... Like, if we want to make $1,000 tournament, and we want to stream it, we want to broadcast it, everything.
Yeah.
Do we have to ask permission? Can we just do it, or like what's going on?
Yeah.
So now that's the big question. That's my biggest scare for fight. Like, are they gonna gatekeep it? Of course, have your tier 1 scene, have your open VCT, but can the other companies, like for example of Knights, want to host like a $10K tournament of fighting game? Can they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they gonna gatekeep it? Are you gonna be an Evo? So there's a lot of questions when it comes to Project L. I mean, if any Riot dev wants to come on and talk about it and promote it, you're more than welcome to come on.
Yeah.
But
we'll have to finagle that in the future.
Yeah. But no, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
And hope everything's good. So far a lot of news came out. I mean, right now the lock-in tournament, just finished. But no, but one of the matches just finished. So we have by next week we'll have grand finals. Also, I already made a TikTok about it just to announce it. The Discord and the TikTok will now be a weekly Defuse X Inting Podcast. So we're jointing it together because we have, instead of just making a whole new thing, a whole new Discord, a whole new TikTok, I was just thinking, hey, we already have about 12,000 followers on, or 13,000 followers on TikTok. Why not just have everything, all the content there? And the Discord is already made, so I'm going to change it to that. So just if you guys are interested, follow mine and then Dominic as well. We post it. That is strictly Esports Valorant. So if you want anything Esports Valorant related, if you want content Esports Valorant related, everything, me and him talk about it over there. So especially with franchising coming around.
As you can tell, the Inting Podcast itself has turned into a general gaming content podcast.
Yeah.
Where weekly Diffuse is going to be just
the
esports stuff.
So if you see, I mean, you guys already probably noticed for the past few months, it has been turning to that because, it's no surprise. Danny's not the biggest fan. I mean, we like esports.
Yeah, well, also Valorant has been kind of dead. Like, there's a big gap between like when VCT last season ended and franchising stuff started. So, like, there wasn't really much to talk about for a long time.
It's not like we don't like Valorant. It's just like there's not much to talk about. And that's why I brought the idea of, like, why don't we just split the two? We'll have Inting Podcast. We'll have guests. We'll still have the Valorant guest scene. We're still going to be in the Valorant scene. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah. We're not dropping Valorant out here.
Yeah. We're going to have guests on. We're going to have we'll still be doing that. But I decided if for the fans that only want esports Valorant content, we made a weekly Defuse. We're also on Spotify now. We made a whole anchor and everything. So we made a Spotify. We're on all platforms, podcast platforms. So if you don't listen audio only on that, there's that as well. We made a Twitter as well, at weekly Defuse. If you want to follow that,
don't follow.
Follow us there. I think
don't follow.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter, on all socials. So we're everywhere. So I just wanted to clear up the air on that. I wanted to make a whole video regarding that. So just letting you guys know. But thank you for the support. Hope we blow up, and hopefully we make more content out of this. We make better content. We upgrade our setup. Shit, we might be in a studio instead of Danny's room for the past year and a half.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah. But hopefully, thank you guys for everything, and thank you for listening. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.